Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle here yet again. And, oh no! AI is going to take over our jobs. Now, this is an article from last year. Funny enough, from February 27th, right around the beginning of the thing that we shall not speak of last year, of which, destroyed a lot of jobs and made a lot of people starting to work from home and changing the environment of what we call work and career. Some say that was part of the point of everything, was to collapse the economy. Right now we printed money out of the printer go burr, and we're printing money out of thin air and just throwing it around to the people. But of which, the American people are actually getting a small fraction of that money. But that's neither here nor there. The point I want to get to here is AI, right? I don't know if you've heard of blockchain technology and Bitcoin and such, but there's a slew of projects that are working towards a more efficient and better usable, for lack of words coming to my brain at this moment, AI technology, of which this list actually misses a few, or a couple that I can think of at the top of my head, but the big ones that I like are SingularityNet, Fetch.ai. But anyways, so there's a slew of blockchain technologies that are working towards making a more efficient and more apt means of bringing AI to the world, which again just feeds into the reality that the job market is changing, right? Not only is the economic system as a whole changing, but the job market itself is changing, right? People need to figure out what to do with themselves, which this is a whole thing I can get into, right? Of human beings were not meant to flip burgers. Where did that article go? Good. Let the robots flip the burgers and cook the fries. Like, that's not what human beings were meant to do. They're not meant to do this menial tasks and packing boxes within a factory and these simple things. Humans are for much more than that. What makes you think that a company will want to pay you, the peasant, me, the peasant, we're all peasants in this game of life, $15 an hour, a living wage, to do something that a robot can do? You may not like it, but this is going to happen. AIs are going to replace a big chunk of the job market. So now what to do? What are you going to do? Well, start finding yourself. Start finding your purpose. Now we're being forced into the shadow work, which that's a whole other thing that we're going to get into. The time of revelation, the revealing of secrets. Everything that you know is not true. Everything that you think you know is not true. But that's another topic for another day. So, first, of course, invest into this technology, knowing and seeing where it's going to go and that it is going to replace this market. Behooves of one to invest whatever they can, at least a little bit. Whatever they deem themselves able to lose. Of course, do your own research. Be wise with your investments, but yes, invest. If not these, cryptocurrencies in general. But again, be wise. There's good ones. There's a lot of bad ones. Do your own research. Invest in things that make sense to you. Of which, of course, is AI technology. Now, it's missing some from this list, such as Golem, which is a decentralized distribution of GPU and CPU power, which of course is going to be needed to run any kind of AI network, on top of rendering for CGI movies and blah, 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 all these things. And then, of course, decentralized cloud storage, such as Saya, Filecoin. Sure, there's a bunch of others. But this too, instead of having Google be in charge of cloud services, I know Microsoft has their own and there's a couple others, but it'll be a decentralized, monetized. People can rent out their excess computer resources and being able to make money off of the resources they're not using. So, things to look into, because not only can you invest in these things, but you can utilize them, right? You have a computer that you're not using, 24/7. The times you're not using them, rent those extra resources out, make a little bit of money on the side. But to get into the big picture of things that I foresee for our species is that we are moving towards life as a career, and blockchain is allowing for this. We've already seen with social media and YouTube, right? Look at it. Look at a lot of people in the YouTube revenue, even for like vlogs and silly things. But These silly things entertain people and people watch them. And being that there are ads in them, these people are making money from that, just from sharing their lives. So now, this is where we will be going. And YouTube will be replaced by probably Theta. This here, which actually some of the big dogs in YouTube are actually working with Theta to help them. But the next generation video delivery, they have Theta, Theta Fuel. You can earn money by watching videos, and of course by being a content creator. It's just another way to monetize your own creations and the things you share. And then of course, I mean, you can look at Red Coin, social media, tipping. So again, a way to monetize one's content. Steam It, another one. Minds.com, another one. All blockchain based means of monetizing one's own information and things that they wish to share. Going back to life being one's career. So we all have our own interests, we all have our own passions, we all have the things that we like to do. Just by the simple act of sharing that with others, you can start making an income off of that, and from there, your life now becomes your career. And this, I can go into our education system and why weren't our hobbies and interests, fueled instead of fed a bunch of garbage? Could have fueled one's innate longing for certain subjects and projects, and just fueled that so that they could become an expert in that, and from there go about life doing that. But that's a rant for another time about restructuring our education system, which again is a part of the future and a very dire need. So, long story, but so the economic system's changing, blockchain, and from that the workforce is changing, powered by blockchain. And instead of going from menial tasks, just going from the individual, at least for the most part, or a small part, we'll see. Because people still need to run things. There's still expert jobs, and you still need craftsmen and certain things. Even though you have 3D printing, right? So maybe we won't need craftsmen too far into the future. But it'll be turning one's life and interests, sharing that with others, and from that becomes your career. The reality being that we are just roving reporters within this psychedelic phenomenon that we call life, and through this multitude of perspectives, we can come to a better understanding. And you are just sharing your perspective and your life story with others. Somebody's going to get something from it. And we can all learn from one another. And if anything, that's where a community species thrives the most. Everyone benefits from each other's experiences by sharing those experiences with one another. Expediting evolution, right? Because we evolve through learning through learning from experience, and applying the lessons those experiences gave us to become better beings. And if we can learn from one another, that it just expedites the whole process, and we become a much more evolved species much more rapidly. So, if you're wondering about what to do in the world, there you go. Start doing some of these things. Start looking at blockchain. Start looking into different social media platforms that actually allow you to monetize your own content, and just start sharing yourself. And with that, well, until next time.